it's unbelievably common. Yes, there are inexpensive digital mics available that will plug USB straight into a computer. There are inexpensive or probably even free editing programs, software that you can download into your computer. You can record in, you can edit on, and you can send via MP3. Now listen, I am so not cyber savvy, it's ridiculous. But I learned exactly how many buttons I need to push in order to send files that end up, clean. And if I have to do one more function, I'm glad I got kids because I'm lost. As far as breaking in, there's a whole lot of people who will tell you it's all been done, they've got everybody, don't bother, don't get in, don't try, don't this, don't that. I have to remind myself and anybody who feels like they've got it that everybody got off the bus at some point, presumably with no contact. You have to introduce yourself to a world that doesn't know you exist. It's not about who you can sound like. It may be about a hybrid of two people you can sound like that create a third entity that's new. But it will always and ever be about what you bring to the party that's not already at the party. It has to be distinctive, and it has to be distinctively yours. So you got to have a strong sense of neutral and come from something that rings true every time you hit it. And you got to have a good sense of play pretend, because that's basically what we all do. If we're lucky enough to get a job, we get paid to play. So don't lose that sense of play, don't lose that sense of individuality, and realize that whatever it is that you bring better be something that's not already there. And that's a big charge, but it doesn't mean it's impossible, and it doesn't mean it hasn't happened a million times before and won't happen 750,000 times soon.
All right, thanks guys. Anybody else?
Yeah, can I throw something in there?
Yeah, please.
A lot of people have great voices. They have, someone says, oh yeah, my mom says I have a great voice, so yeah, I can do this. A lot of people have great voices.
Right.
But I would suggest, if you've never taken an acting class, learn something about acting, because you're not just doing a voice, you're portraying a character.
Lots of musical theater. How would you say that would transition?
Doesn't hurt.
Okay.
I started out musical theater.
It's all good.
I think you would learn from going down to the Greyhound bus station and announcing bus arrivals and departures. It's all experience, and who knows, the first cartoon show you get in, they go, oh, can you do the voice of the bus station?
Yep.
Yeah, I can do that. And don't sell private practice short. I mean, I think everybody up here started out fooling around with voices in their bedroom with their dad going, what the hell's going on in there? Who's loud? You're never going to amount to anything with that crap. But you do. I mean, when I wanted to be a disc jockey, I didn't know how the hell to be a disc jockey. I thought, well, maybe I could train myself. And I put a little studio together in the garage, and my father laughed at it. And other people have normal sons who go out and play baseball. My kid sits in the garage talking to himself. But I had the radio career, he didn't. And I was amazed at the number of guys I met later who did exactly the same thing. If you've got a little tape recorder and a place to work, voice the funny papers, anything.
Yeah, there was one thing Billy, Burr, his last name Burr?
Wally Burr?
Yeah. A few years ago, he said something to somebody else who asked the same question about, read news articles out loud and see how you sound. And, I've been doing that and talking to myself for uncounted hundreds of hours.
Well, it's bizarre because you need to get used to hearing yourself, but you also need to get used to not listening to yourself.
Right.
Because you got to dive into it. And sometimes when you listen back to playback of yourself, it's really deceiving.
Thanks, guys. I won't hug you anymore.
Well, the other thing, just real quick to know about these guys. Imagine, you got a job, and it's like, okay, we want you to sound like a robotic microscope. And I used to be the guy in the room trying to explain, okay, we want a robotic microscope, so try to get a little lens into your voice, and I want to hear that slide going in and out, and they do it. That was the thing that was incredible. Is every one of these guys, they go up there and they do it. And and they had some idea how to do it. Probably far worse things you can do than give yourself ridiculous exercises like, okay, now you're a transforming robot, right? want to hear your little insect in there because you're an insecticon, but you're a bad guy insect. Remember you guys doing that stuff?
Oh, I tell a story about the Insecticon. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Eating a building.
I mean, what you're looking at here is you're looking at the High Wire Act, guise of voiceover. This is rarefied air.
It's difficult when you have to have mandibles.
Yeah, can we have some bubbles in there?
Yes.
Hey, just to clarify.